The 7 levels of scientists in Marvel. Level 1. Trash. Arnim Zola. Back in the 1970s, Marvel introduced one of its most visually bizarre villains in Captain America and the Falcon number 208. Arnim Zola, a Swiss biochemist whose greatest achievement was transferring his consciousness into a robotic body with a TV screen for a face. On paper, he sounds threatening, a genius in genetic engineering who created monsters for the Red Skull. In practice, he's been Captain America's punching bag for decades. His whole deal was biomanipulation, creating life, mutating organisms, and playing God in the worst possible way. But here's the problem. Every time Zola showed up with a new abomination or master plan, Cap shut it down. No contest. His inventions never reached the scale of Doom or Richards. His cloning experiments were sloppy compared to the High Evolutionary, and his robot body, while creepy-looking, made him a slow, clunky target. The MCU tried to rehabilitate him in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, turning him into a digital consciousness hiding in old Hydra computers. It was a solid twist, but even there he was more of a plot device than a true threat. In comics, Zola remains the scientist who could have been dangerous if he wasn't constantly outsmarted by a guy with a shield. Curtis Connors, the Lizard. Spider-Man's rogues gallery is stacked with tragic figures, and Curt Connors fits that mold perfectly. Introduced in Amazing Spider-Man number 6 back in 1963, Connors was a brilliant herpetologist who lost his arm and tried to regrow it using lizard DNA. The result was the Lizard, a savage alter ego that turned him into one of Peter Parker's most unpredictable enemies. But here's why he's trashed here. Connors never evolved beyond the formula. Every appearance follows the same pattern. He transforms, rampages through New York, Spider-Man talks him down or finds a cure, and Connors spends the next few issues wallowing in guilt before doing it all over again. His scientific achievements outside the Lizard formula are minimal. He's not inventing web shooters, arc reactors, or unstable molecules. He made one serum that backfired, and that's been his entire career. The tragedy of Curtis Connors is real. A good man trapped by his own desperation. But in a universe where scientists are reshaping reality and building dimensional portals, Connors is stuck in a loop, never reaching his potential.
Level 2. Bad. Boulevard Trask. In 1965, X-Men number 14 introduced Boulevard Trask, the anthropologist who created the Sentinels, massive killer robots designed to hunt and eliminate mutants. On the surface, that sounds like a game-changing invention. In reality, Trask became a cautionary tale about paranoia masquerading as progress. His Sentinels were impressive from an engineering standpoint, self-repairing, adaptive, and capable of detecting the X gene. But Trask's fatal flaw was losing control immediately. The first generation of Sentinels turned on him, deciding that humanity itself was the problem. That's right, his own creations betrayed him in their debut storyline. From that point forward, the Sentinels became everyone else's weapon. Future timelines, alternate realities, government programs. Everyone used Trask's designs, but Trask himself faded into irrelevance. He died trying to stop his own machines, a tragic end that highlighted his lack of foresight. The Sentinels went on to become iconic Marvel threats, but Boulevard Trask remains the scientist who built the bomb and couldn't defuse it. Arno Stark, introduced in the 2010s as part of Matt Fraction's Invincible Iron Man run, Arno Stark was revealed to be Tony's long-lost brother, a biological son of Howard and Maria Stark, hidden away due to health issues and kept in stasis for years. When he finally emerged, Arno was positioned as Tony's intellectual equal, possibly even his superior in raw intelligence. But here's the issue. Arno's brilliance was always theoretical. He designed advanced armor, worked on impossible equations, and occasionally stepped into the Iron Man role when Tony couldn't. Yet he never made an impact that stuck. His best inventions were refinements of Tony's existing tech. His biggest storylines revolved around him being manipulated or sidelined. And when Marvel needed a genius Stark to save the day, it was always Tony, never Arno. Arno represents wasted potential, a character introduced with huge promise who never broke out of his brother's shadow. In a universe packed with scientific giants, he's the footnote in the Stark family history. Level 3. Mid. The High Evolutionary. Herbert Wyndham first appeared in Thor number 134 in 1966, and his ambition was always massive. Obsessed with genetics and evolution, he used a combination of science and inhuman technology to accelerate his own evolution, transforming himself into the High Evolutionary. From there, he created an entire society of evolved animals on Wundagore Mountain and meddled in the origins of dozens of Marvel characters. His resume is legitimately impressive. He's the one who gave Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch to the Maximoffs as babies. He created Adam Warlock, one of Marvel's most powerful cosmic beings. He's engineered entire species and rewritten evolutionary timelines. By any standard, he's a top-tier mind. So why is he mid? Because for all his power, the High Evolutionary is wildly inconsistent. Some storylines treat him as a godlike intellect, reshaping life itself. Others reduce him to a mad scientist who gets outsmarted by the Avengers. His ethical compass is non-existent. He's created utopias and dystopias with equal enthusiasm, and his obsession with perfection often blinds him to consequences. He's brilliant but unstable, powerful but unreliable, a genius who never quite commits to being a hero or a villain. Hank Pym. Hank Pym is one of Marvel's original scientists, debuting in Tales to Astonish number 27 in 1962. He discovered Pym particles, the subatomic keys that allow shrinking and growing at will. He created Ultron, one of the Avengers' deadliest enemies. He built the first Ant-Man suit and founded the Avengers alongside Iron Man, Thor, and the rest. On paper, his accomplishments rival anyone on this list. Pym particles alone are revolutionary, bending the laws of physics in ways even Reed Richards respects. But Hank's legacy is complicated by his personal failures. His creation of Ultron came back to haunt him repeatedly, with the AI viewing Hank as a flawed father figure. His mental health struggles, including his infamous breakdown and abusive behavior toward Janet Van Dyne, stained his reputation for decades. What keeps Hank mid is that his brilliance is always overshadowed by his mistakes. He's bounced between identities: Ant-Man, Giant Man, Goliath, Yellow Jacket, the Wasp, never settling into one role long enough to define it. He's the scientist who could have been great, but kept sabotaging himself. Respected by his peers, but never quite trusted. A founding Avenger who always felt like the weak link. Level 4. Mid-High. Bruce Banner, the Hulk. Bruce Banner is one of the most tragic figures in Marvel, a brilliant nuclear physicist whose work on gamma radiation turned him into the Hulk. Introduced in Incredible Hulk number 1, 1962, Banner's intelligence is often overshadowed by his alter ego's raw power. But make no mistake, Bruce is a world-class mind. His understanding of gamma energy is unmatched. He's developed cures, weapons, and technology that governments and organizations have fought wars over. During his time with the Illuminati, he worked alongside Reed Richards and Tony Stark on problems that threatened the entire planet. When he finally gained control of the Hulk as Professor Hulk, he showed what happens when brute strength and genius intellect combine. What holds Bruce back is that he spent most of his career trying to undo his greatest creation. The Hulk isn't a tool he can wield. It's a curse he's constantly managing. While other scientists build empires and reshape reality, Bruce is stuck in survival mode, running from the military, battling his own mind, and trying not to destroy everything around him. His brilliance is undeniable, but it's always secondary to the monster. Level 5. Good. Hank McCoy, Beast. When Hank McCoy first appeared in X-Men number 1, 1963, he was the team's resident genius, a mutant with enhanced strength, agility, and a mind that rivaled the best scientists in the world. Over the decades, Beast became one of Marvel's most versatile intellectuals, contributing to genetics, biochemistry, and even temporal mechanics. His work with the X-Men includes developing the legacy virus cure, creating advanced danger room programs, and solving problems that stumped even Reed Richards. During his time with the Avengers, he held his own in meetings with Tony Stark and became the team's go-to science consultant. His mutation, which eventually transformed him into a blue, furry beast, never slowed him down. If anything, it fueled his determination to prove that intelligence and humanity aren't tied to appearance. What makes Beast great is his range. He's not locked into one field. He's dabbled in everything from medicine
medicine to quantum physics, and he's done it while balancing his superhero responsibilities. But he's not untouchable. His recent storylines, particularly his morally questionable decisions involving time travel and Krakoa, have shown that even the best minds can lose their way. Beast is brilliant, adaptable, and essential, but he's not the absolute best. Otto Octavius, Dr. Octopus. Otto Octavius debuted in Amazing Spider-Man number 3, 1963, as one of Peter Parker's most dangerous enemies. A nuclear physicist with a god complex, Otto's mechanical arms became his signature, but his true weapon was always his mind. He's developed technology that Spider-Man has struggled to counter for decades, from his tentacles' AI-driven responsiveness to his later ventures into genetic manipulation and nanotechnology. What elevates Otto is his evolution. During the Superior Spider-Man arc, he didn't just swap bodies with Peter Parker. He tried to prove he could be a better Spider-Man through sheer intellect and ruthless efficiency. He created a more advanced suit, built a criminal surveillance network, and took down villains Peter had struggled with for years. His methods were brutal, but they worked. Otto's ego is his greatest strength and weakness. He believes he's the smartest person in any room, and often he's right, but that arrogance blinds him. He's lost to Peter, to the Avengers, and to his own overconfidence more times than he can count. Still, few villains have matched Otto's combination of intelligence, ambition, and sheer determination to prove himself superior.
Level 6. Great. Tony Stark, Iron Man. Tony Stark changed everything when he first appeared in Tales of Suspense number 39, 1963. Captured by terrorists and forced to build weapons, he instead created the Iron Man armor in a cave with a box of scraps. That armor wasn't just a suit, it was a statement. Tony proved that human ingenuity could stand alongside gods and monsters. Over the decades, Tony's inventions have reshaped the Marvel Universe. Arc reactor technology, repulsor rays, AI systems like Jarvis and Friday, the Hulkbuster armor, bleeding-edge nanotech. Every iteration of Iron Man has pushed the boundaries of what's possible. He's built armors to fight the Hulk, counter magic, travel through space, and even house the entirety of his consciousness. Beyond the suits, Tony's mind works on a macro level. He helped create the Avengers, funded the Illuminati's world-saving operations, and developed the superhuman registration database during Civil War. He's a futurist who sees problems decades in advance and builds solutions before they're needed. But Tony isn't number one. His alcoholism, arrogance, and tendency to create disasters like Ultron hold him back. He's saved the world countless times, but he's also endangered it just as often. Tony Stark is a great scientist, maybe even the greatest engineer in Marvel, but brilliance alone doesn't make you untouchable. Victor Von Doom, Dr. Doom. Victor Von Doom first appeared in Fantastic Four number 5, 1962, and immediately established himself as Reed Richards' greatest rival. A genius in both science and sorcery, Doom combines intellect with mysticism in ways no other Marvel character can match. He's built time machines, conquered nations, stolen cosmic powers, and challenged gods. What makes Doom terrifying is his versatility. He's mastered robotics, creating Doombots so convincing even the Fantastic Four struggle to tell them apart. He's delved into the darkest corners of magic, bargaining with demons, and mastering spells that rival Doctor Strange. His armor is a masterpiece, blending Stark-level tech with enchantments that make him nearly invincible. Doom's greatest achievement isn't a single invention, it's Latveria. He took a failing nation and transformed it into a technological utopia where crime is non-existent and citizens thrive. Say what you will about his methods, but Doom proved he could govern as effectively as he could conquer. What holds Doom back from the top spot is his obsession. His rivalry with Reed Richards has defined his entire existence. Every plan, every scheme, every world-conquering ambition somehow circles back to proving he's superior to Richards. That fixation has cost him victories he should have claimed. Doom is one of the greatest minds in Marvel, but his ego makes him predictable.
Level 7. GOAT. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. Reed Richards is the smartest man in the Marvel Universe, period. Since his debut in Fantastic Four number 1, 1961, Reed has consistently proven that no problem is too complex, no challenge too great, and no mystery unsolvable. His inventions have literally reshaped reality. Let's talk achievements. Reed discovered the negative zone, an entire antimatter universe.
He created unstable molecules, the fabric that allows superhero costumes to stretch, shrink, and withstand cosmic forces. He built the Fantastic Four's interdimensional portal, developed technology to track threats across the multiverse, and solved the infinity formula that kept Nick Fury alive for decades. But Reed's brilliance goes beyond gadgets. During Secret Wars, he rebuilt the entire multiverse after it collapsed. He's outsmarted Galactus, the Celestials, and cosmic entities that view humans as insects. His ultimate nullifier is a weapon so powerful it can erase anything from existence, and Reed is one of the few beings trusted to wield it. What separates Reed from every other scientist is his ability to see connections others miss. Tony builds incredible armor. Doom masters magic and science, but Reed operates on a level where he's rewriting the rules of physics itself. He's solved problems that gods couldn't answer. The only criticism leveled at Reed is that his intellect makes him cold. He's been accused of prioritizing solutions over people, of treating his family like variables in an equation. But when the universe is collapsing, when reality itself is at stake, Reed Richards is the one everyone calls. Not Tony, not Doom, Reed. He is Marvel's ultimate scientist, the man who turns impossible into inevitable. And that's it. Now to you. Out of every scientist across these levels, who do you think deserves the title of Marvel's greatest mind? Comment down below, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos like this.